Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to the Toronto Raptors 139-120 victory against the Houston Rockets. Ryker, how are we feeling about this W? 8-game win streak. Gary Trent Jr., our star boy, coming out and absolutely balling in this game. The Toronto Raptors, they're elite. They're not losing to some Houston Rockets and optimized tanking roster anymore. This is a new season, a new us. How you feeling right now, Ryker?
And let me ask you, what's your favorite part about Texas?
What's your favorite part about Texas?
The food. Come on, man. Absolutely. You gotta say the food, Ben, because somebody was eating tonight. Gary Trent Jr., 42 points. We just got to address it right off the cuff because I love Gary. I'm in love with this man. He is balling out, and when Fred VanVleet is out of the rotation, I assume Banton was going to get the start. Instead, they slipped Achua up into that starting lineup. Gary Trent Jr. said, let me score the ball for you tonight. Unfortunately, not a career high, but an incredible performance nonetheless, Ben.
I was surprised it wasn't a career high. You said he had 44 against the Cleveland Cavaliers last season, or at some point in his Raptors tenure. So
on 15 for 17 shooting, what a game that was.
Yeah, but this one was truly, truly remarkable. Gary Trent Jr., 42 points, 5 steals in this one, 4 assists, just absolute baller. Absolute baller. 6 of 13 from 3, 15 of 26. From the field. Gary Trent Jr. was amazing out there. And Ryker, right? We just got to find someone, you and I personally, like Gary Trent Jr., that we can love, that we can enjoy. And the best place to find someone, Valentine's Day is around the corner, Ryker, and the best place to find someone to love and enjoy is in a pickup basketball game. You can find people out
no
there.
Cap.
Pickup
no
basketball cap. Is back, and you can download the Javelin Sports app to find some people to play your favorite sport with. The application link is in the description and will be in the pinned comment after this live is happening. But it's huge. It's huge because everything's opening up. You can book your facility straight through the Javelin app. And if you download the app now and make your first booking, you get $10 off, or your first drop-in fee, which is essentially free basketball, free volleyball, free indoor soccer, whatever it is you want to be doing. You want to get a community. People have been stuck inside doing their own things. Well, you know what? You can go out and find some people to hang out with. Maybe find someone to kick it with on Valentine's Day. If you download the Javelin app right now, play some hoop with, do your thing. It's facts, Ryker. There's nothing anti-factual about that.
No cap. The opposite of cap, Ben. I'm ecstatic to get back from my trip here in Calgary, my little snowboard trip, and get straight into making new friends, playing pickup B. But if you like any other sports, this app, it's still for you. So, Ben, we're jumping into this game, a big Raptors W against not the best team ever, not the best team, but a team, if you'll remember, we actually lost to last season after they had lost 27 games in a row. We allowed them to snap their losing streak, their historic losing streak against us. Tonight wasn't going to be a repeat of that because we figured out how to win that, Ben. And I was kind of hoping that Thaddeus Young would play in this one because we're already in Texas. It's not that far of a trip for him, but of course, usually takes a day or two to get the logistics sorted. And I'm not disappointed to see guys like Banton, Flynn, who haven't been getting a lot of run, play a bit of basketball in this one against a scrub team, play well, and just another pleasurable game to watch, Ben.
Yeah, no, for sure. And we did miss a super chat while I was going on the rant there about Javelin Sports, but Gary's the guy. Gary's the guy. Gabe brought up that Gary is an all-star next season. Do you think that's something legitimate with Gary Trent Jr. at this point? Because
yes,
he is elite.
I think he's going to be our best player. I think he might be one of the best players to ever come out of Toronto when it's all said and done.
Really? Speak up on that. Speak up on that, because that's.
Let me tell you this, Ben.
You can't just drop that. That's like a Woj bomb. We've been getting Woj.
Let me tell you.
That's a Ryker bomb in this podcast right now. This is the
Let
guy.
me
This is the guy
explain.
that was saying fire Masai Ujiri in the heat of the moment last trade deadline a year ago from today. Riker is out here saying fire Masai because we brought in the star boy, and now what? What are you
Get out
saying?
of here. Ben, listen. History tends to remember the scorers, which Gary Trent Jr. checks that box. He has height over Fred VanVleet. He has skill over Pascal Siakam. And that's discrediting his defensive abilities. You said it, 5 steals tonight. He was number 2 on the Defensive Player of the Year ladder at the beginning of the season. He's top of the league in steals and in deflections. This guy, he's a two-way player. He's crafty, and he has the confidence and the swag off the court to be one of the Raptors' greatest when it's all said and done. Not the greatest, one of, Ben.
You didn't say one of.
One of.
That's not what I heard in your sentence the other time. That is not a take. Usually if we have something wild to say, we say it before the pods. We had some things to say before this game. This was not something that I thought was coming out, but I like it.
I stand by it.
I like that take because Gary, my goodness, when Gary's hot, when Gary's rocking, he's that man. He is that man. He's our star boy. He's our bucket getter. He complements our stars perfectly because he can just be electric on any given night, right? Especially when nights when Fred VanVleet's out, he gets those extra shots. It's huge. It's huge. He's a Kobe type. People are not liking the Kobe comparison, but it's facts. It's the only thing that's factual. I love it there tonight from Gary Trent Jr., but he was not to be, or, you know, he did outdo Pascal Siakam, but Pascal played himself a pretty solid one in this one tonight, especially midway through the game. He looked absolutely unstoppable with the Houston Rockets defenders, and they have a few more of those wingish guys that can guard down there, right? 30 points for Pascal Siakam, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. He was bullying his way to the rim, 1 of 4 from the three-point line, but 13 of 19 from the field. And Riker, we have to really just... we have to give our flower. We've been giving it to him. I never fell off the Pascal bandwagon. I took some heat for it. The heat was on the pods, and while he's playing well, we gotta rep that. But Spicy P, man, this guy, when he's driving, when he's hitting those mid-range fadeaways, when he's doing everything out there on the court, this is a superstar. And Riker, at what point do we start talking about top 10 guy in the NBA again?
Right now, Ben. I'm still disappointed that of all the anime enjoyers that were recommending me anime content, when I made my Naruto reference to Pascal Siakam being our shadow all-star, none of them came to defend me. Everybody was just saying, what point are you trying to make here? The point I'm trying to make is he has quietly become the best player on our team again. He's quietly become an all-NBA guy, quietly become somebody that is probably going to be on a all-NBA first or second team. And I like that because that's what we're paying him to be. Also coming off an injury, off of a bad season, this is a good bounce back, but also because he's doing things in a way that we didn't see in prior seasons, that he's doing a spin move with a little bit more confidence. He's not settling for threes. He's attacking the basket relentlessly. He's finishing over bigger defenders. You remember he got scared every time he played Achua last season, but none of that seems to be plaguing him this year. That's given me a lot of confidence as we roll into the playoffs in about 30 games from now, Ben.
Yeah, that's Pascal Siakam's a W. Apparently my volume's too low, so keep me updated. I turned up the microphone volume.
I'll speak a bit quieter. I'll speak a bit quieter, Ben.
No, I think it's on
I'll
me.
whisper it.
The audios have been a bit shaky. My mic randomly gives me chipmunk voices at times when I try to record podcasts, so I had to do a couple of those ones this week over again because it was in a high pitch. But this was a huge W. Obviously, Gary Trent Jr., Pascal Siakam really stepped up with Fred VanVleet going out. I'm reading the chat. Apparently a sharpshooter saying that the NBA put Freddie's pick in the thumbnail from tonight's game and forgot that he wasn't playing in this one. So that's that's an L there. But we know we do have to give out an award tonight. And it usually is accompanied by a drum roll, Riker. So do you want to get a little drum roll going for this? That's right. The Scotty Barnes Award. It's going to none other than Scotty Barnes, who had himself a Scotty Barnes game. 9 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. I like that the assist numbers were high because he's been a facilitator, and we're bringing in another guy that's a big facilitator, Thaddeus Young. We already got an animation idea cooked up for Thaddeus Young. We won't spoil, but I thought Scotty Barnes had a ridiculous pass in this game too that I'll leave later for the segments. But what did you see out of Scotty tonight? Because even though the numbers weren't high, he faced off against Jalen Green. We did see some stuff there, and we do actually. I don't want to miss it. We've been late on the super chats. The Chubbstown Clink. What happened to all the trade Fred VanVleet Boucher noise? It got awful quiet around here. GT Jr. is paying Riker like Javelin is paying Ben.
Yes, sir. But Ben, listen, it wasn't us that were on the trade Siakam bandwagon.
We were calming you guys down. The chat.
We flirted with the trade Fred VanVleet scenarios at the beginning when Ben Simmons was immediately available. We thought, what if? We were running scenarios, but we were never supporting trading our big guy, especially not OG or Gary Trent Jr. And Ben, it's all smooth sailing ahead. Well, not smooth sailing, but everybody can rally behind our starting unit, and we're only going to get better with that. Young, I see you smirking there. Is there something funny in the comments?
What will it take for Gary Trent Jr. to win the Scotty Barnes Award, Riker? Well, folks,
50.
No, the criteria is fluid, and tonight we went with the most all-around game, and clearly 7 rebounds and 6 assists is beating the 4 assists and 5 steals from Gary Trent Jr. The numbers.
But if anybody ever gets double-digit blocks or double-digit steals, they have to automatically get the Scotty Barnes Award. That's just a fact. I don't know if I've ever seen it, but Ben, run through the box sheet
like some milk.
Gross. But Ben, I was just about to say, Ben, the criteria is fluid. Ben, run through the box score before we flip it into the segments.
Well, we also have another super chat coming in from Omid. Hot take: Pascal should have made the All-Star over Fred. This is a take that I think you and I both agree that Pascal is our number one guy. He's our best player so far this season. When he's been out there, his highs have been higher, but Pascal did miss the first month of the year. He looked bad there for another month, and then really has inched his way up to the level that he's at now, where he's the guy that you and I have been saying was a top 10 player for the past 2 seasons, right? He just needed things to go his way. Would you agree with that, or do you think he should have been the All-Star?
Yeah, like if you compare them right now, obviously Siakam is the All-Star between the two, but Fred VanVleet played his best to deserve that All-Star spot. So they based it basically 2-3 weeks before the announcement of the starters is when I assume the selection is coming in. Yep. So he was in his prime then. He was averaging however many 3-pointers per game. He had a really great stretch of basketball, but we don't need to hate on any of our guys. They're both All-Stars. Gary Trent Jr. is an All-Star too. Scotty Barnes and Precious are rising stars. What are you laughing at there, sir?
Havoc is saying, Riker comes in saying Gary Trent Jr. is the GOAT, the new Raptors growth, but Ben won't even give him the Scotty Barnes Award.
Yeah, there's something at play here.
The criteria is fluid, folks. How many times do we have to say it? How many times do we got to play this animation here to demonstrate that it's fluid? But we also have another super chat coming in from Fred Solly. The cursor was over my hand. I thought it said Fred Saucy, but Fred Solly. I'm so glad that we got rid of Dragic. Riker, I have a question. I want to pose it to the chat as well. Folks, who had the better Toronto Raptors career? Goran Dragic or Drew Eubanks? Let us know in the comment section below.
You're mean, Ben. Drew Eubanks didn't even get a chance. But it gives us an opportunity to make some moves in the buyout market, which obviously should get everybody excited, especially if those Gary Harris rumors are true, which I haven't seen any actual meat or any substantiation to validate that, but we'll see how it plays out. Ben, quick run through of the box score. We got a lot to talk about here in the segments and the final arm and our giveaway. So let's rattle through them quick and get right into it.
Let's double announce that giveaway. Guys, if you're not subscribed, we're once again doing the raffle for the giveaway because Uncle Trevi or whatever did not claim the hoodie. So we're doing another hoodie giveaway, and Guys, I think I know the problem with some of you guys. You haven't downloaded the Javelin Sports app. Clearly, you would have won if you've already downloaded it. It's the good luck charm, but the only thing you need to earn this hoodie or get a chance to win it is be subscribed. So hopefully it goes to someone in the chat today. And super chats keep on rolling in. Riker Harrison, Vinswarnan is saying the Lakers really thought that they could finesse Gary from us. The Raptors groat Gary Trent Jr. Lakers. They tried to get the groat last season, but they weren't getting it this year. But people are rocking out with the Drew Eubanks and stuff. But Riker, Precious Achiuwa tonight got the start. As you said, you probably thought Delano Banton would get in there, but Precious got it. Only played 14 minutes in this one. 6 points, 4 rebounds. You see anything crazy from Precious in this game?
Nope. Keep it going.
Keep her going. OG Anunoby, solid performance, 13, 4 and 2. This is the prime thing about OG Anunoby. In games where other people are balling out, like Starboy is looking like the Raptors' groat, Pascal Siakam is spicy and peeing his way to an All-NBA team, right? OG Anunoby doesn't demand extra touches. He doesn't need to have the ball in his hands and make sure he gets his 20 points. He can be that perfect glue guy role player. That's a true underrated value of OG Anunoby right here.
GCP OAT, greatest complimentary player of all time, Ben.
Is OG Anunoby the G's? What was that acronym?
OG is the GCP OAT, baby.
The GCP OAT. You're good Sapota. Put it on a t-shirt.
GC Pope.
We might
keep
have
her
to
going,
get that.
man.
OGs, folks, get the laser eyes going in the OGs chat. But OG Anunoby balled out. But off the bench tonight, we did have some guys play well. Nick Nurse went deep into his bag of bench pieces in this game. 16 points, 5 rebounds from Chris Boucher. He's probably feeling good that he wasn't traded because he was one of the guys that had value and could potentially be moved. And he's showing why we did not end up trading him.
Well, and that's why I want to swing it to the segments ASAP, because I want to talk about our man, Chris Boucher. I'm glad we didn't trade him as well, Ben.
Yeah, big W. But Birch got 2 points, 16 minutes. Solid game for him. The stats don't really lie. Don't really show his impact on the court. Yuta Watanabe hit a 3. That was nice to see. Rhyme accidentally. But Malachi Flynn, apparently Eric Flynn, I did not get to see it. You and I have been podcasting and doing things the entire day. We haven't caught much of the news following that initial trade deadline. Eubanks was actually waived. We brought that up a little bit earlier. But Riker, apparently Eric Flynn, did you get a chance to look at the Eric Flynn's comments in the Facebook post or whatever? Apparently he was flaming the Toronto Raptors.
No.
Okay, apparently, I don't know, I was out to dinner tonight, and apparently he was roasting the Raptors. Apparently a month ago he came out and said that the Raptors championship was a fraud, and we only won because of injuries and all that sort of stuff. So I don't know. Eric Flynn is not having it. But the guy that we do have to at least touch on, Delano Banton, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, especially since we didn't acquire a guard. He's the guy that's most likely going to get those opportunities off the bench. And he showed out in this first game with a lot of responsibility.
Yeah, well, wait for the buyout market then. We might get ourselves a wing scorer. But Delano Banton, he's the 905 legend right now, and you'd suspect that he has ways to score. And against a team like this, he should, and he did. So it was nice to see.
Yeah, without a doubt, nice to see. But Riker, it's time to swing it into les segments. And tonight, the spicy play of the day. You know, a couple people are saying that I forgot about a Yuta Watanabe play, but I think you got to sound off on that block because we didn't forget about it. We're saving it for a segment.
That was one sexy block, Ben. And because it came off a real nice play, you got to give credit where credit is due. And I don't know who it was, but somebody had it kind of on that elbow on the Rockets behind the back pass to, I believe it was Martin Jr. What is his name? Is it Kenyon Martin Jr. on the Houston Rockets?
Yeah.
Anyways, he went for a 2-hand slam, and I thought that poor Yuta Watanabe 2 seasons in a row would be baptized. Last season by Anthony Edwards, this season by Kenyon Martin Jr. But he said, no, got a hand up there and boom, blocked a 2-hand slam, which you don't see that often. Spicy.
Gabe is in the chat saying Utah never getting postered again. Never. He had the flashbacks to the Anthony Edwards last season. He knows the bench got some run tonight. I can't be thrown into the shadow rim, locked into the like section. Speaking of likes, get a little like spike going like he was last season. And he got that block. And didn't it come down and the Raptors ended up scoring the next possession?
Maybe. I don't know.
That is what it is. But Boucher also had a nice little buzzer beater three.
Whoa. That can be next segment there, sir.
Well, my apologies, because now I'll play some of the spicy play of the day, and some just make you say, oh, jeez. And tonight, Ryker, I apologize, stealing the segment, but Boucher, Trey Boucher, launching him from three.
Launching him from three, close in the third quarter. Could he be our finisher, Ben? That guy shooting threes to win games at the buzzer. Maybe not, but he has the confidence to do it if we ever asked him to. Unlimited confidence and unlimited celebration. That was the OGs in this one. It's just funny to see Chris Boucher hit any shot because he gets very passionate about his makes.
Chris Boucher, ballin'. This account has no name, said Bobby said that the Raptors have free agents that they're looking to bring back. And Chris Boucher is that guy. He's the guy that deserves it. Hopefully we don't have to pay him $17 million. And Martin Araya is saying, coming in with a super chat, saying, which former Raptor would you bring back to fit in?
Bosh.
50-year-old Chris Bosh?
Yes, sir.
Bring back Chris Bosh. I was thinking Danny Green. If he gets bought out by the Sixers, he'd be a cool guy. Shoot some threes, do all that sort of stuff. But Donald Fagan is saying that shout out to McGill Medicine and Nursing. Shout out to McGill Medicine and Nursing. But Ryker, it's time to swing it into that Golden Kazoo Award of the night. I was told it was a bit too loud, so I just turned it down. But there's the Houston Rockets are an interesting team. They ended up keeping Eric Gordon, which was surprising in this one. But do you have any Golden Kazoos from this game, from this day to day? We've had a lot of stuff to talk about with everything going on this. What's today's date? February 11th.
Yeah, I was going to say, I thought that we might have a trade possibility with Christian Wood or Eric Gordon or somebody with the Rockets given their trajectory. So a little bit disappointed that nothing happened with that team, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah. And Wade is coming in. We're catching his super chat early on this one. We were late on them the last couple of times, but bench one, start one, cut one, Ryker. Harrow, Clarkson, and Gary Trent Jr. The Raptors growed.
Harrow, Clarkson?
Yep.
Like Clarkson off the bench in Utah?
Yep.
And Gary Harris?
No, Gary Trent, Starboy.
Gary Trent Jr.
Yep.
Starting Gary Trent Jr. And Harrow's off the bench because he puts up monster numbers off the bench in Miami, and you can cut Clarkson. Even though he's, 6 man of the year caliber and playing great in Utah, I think Harrow has some crazy upside.
Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, it's the Kazoo. People are saying also throw the Golden Kazoo to Eric Flynn, but I don't know if it's neither you nor I. We only heard it from secondhand sources about the Eric Flynn. We got to get a good read on that, and we might try to get Eric Flynn on the podcast. So we don't want to flame him with the Kazoos too much. But Raptor celebration, Avenue des Pins, Reach Ben. I'm in Newfoundland, bioformatics, but I'm always on Avenue des Pins. It's a spot right close to my apartment when I lived in Montreal. But we're getting a little bit off the rails, right? So we may as well get that final alarm going.
Do it.
Wee, 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 wee.
Beep, 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 beep.
That's right. The final alarm has sounded. And we want to hear what you guys have to say about this game, about this day, about the Raptors, about some cool spots to hit in Montreal if you want to watch some games. If you're trying to pull up. But we have a super chat, and as is tradition, little like spike. We're not even at 100 likes and 430 people in here. Gotta get that juiced. Gotta get those likes juiced, like Javelin, of course. But we have a super chat from Jenfro. Your time is limited. Don't waste it living someone else's life, Ryker.
Wow. I think he should be signing off these podcasts and not myself, Ben. Eloquent. Beautiful. And Ben, there's a giveaway to do. Let's do it.
Let's do it. The Chubstown Clink is saying at Riker, if Ben cuts his hair, set aside the clippings. We need a wig for Marcel. The bald mamba. We should get bald mamba my hair. Bald
there's
mamba.
Enough bald people on this podcast.
Hey, we need a what were they? What was the name of the people that we did the thing? Sean was the guy that hopped on those pods. If people remember this time last year.
Oh,
we were doing
yeah.
The ads with your WebMD or something for the ball.
Yeah.
Random callbacks last season. People remember, Sean. Leave it in the chat. But Riker, it's time to celebrate our subscribers, the people that have been through the ups and downs. And you guys have one last chance to subscribe to the channel before I run the code. Run the code to get us a potential hoodie giveaway. You want this hoodie? Subscribe to the channel because it's a fire hoodie. But let me run my terminal so it looks clean. Riker, should we just sign right into it? Let's get this hoodie rocking. Let's do it. Okay, it's loading. Drum roll is going. Yesterday we couldn't even watch the drum roll because we thought that someone was getting traded. I don't remember who, but remember, download the Javelin app if you want this hoodie because it's good luck. But I guarantee the person that gets this hoodie will have a Javelin downloaded just out of luckiness. But it has come. That is the channel ID. If you have your channel ID memorized, then you will know this is you. But we don't know who it is just yet. Riker, what's the guess of the name? As it's tradition.
Genfro.
Genfro, that's what he's calling. Okay, here it is. Once again, I messed up the things because when I type in my computer, it randomly puts over @ signs. Ken Long. Congratulations, Ken Long.
Ken Long?
Yeah.
Like long?
Yeah. He's got the K. Will we have some
like
fake Ken Longs coming into here? He's subscribed to The Economist. I don't want to be putting all this guy's all his stuff out there. But Ken Long, if you want to claim your hoodie, you got to hit us up by the next game. By tomorrow. Hit us up at Raptors.
By tomorrow.
What? By tomorrow? Riker setting the rules.
Tomorrow.
Ken Long, we
One day. That's it.
One day. Race Mode Daily is
about...
Ken Long. Hello, I am here. Phil B. Folks, we got a Genfro. We thought it was going to, but Genfro probably thought it was him when you said his name. But shout out to Ken Long. We'll see if he actually claims. We got real lucky with Jake Lamette Johnson. We got really, really lucky with Jake Lamette Johnson.
I can't believe Jake was actually in the. We will have to filter it so that it's only people watching at some point. Maybe next one, maybe the one after. But if it's not claimed, you still have a chance. So make sure you're subscribed. Create a burner. Give yourself an extra shot at getting.
On how long we can go.
Well, I got about 3 minutes till I'm gonna start checking out. So let's go fast and furious with some of the comments here. Yes.
Ken Long. Riker, what we didn't get to chat about the Drew Eubanks getting waived. Who are we picking up in the buyout market? This is going to be something we're going to be talking. Ken Bing Bong.
Ken Bing Bong. I wish it went to Ken Bing Bong.
Who are we getting in the buyout market? Folks, give us some questions. Let us get at least somewhat on the rails.
Yeah. Well, there's,
well, you know.
There,
Bing bong.
A guy like Gary Harris is being rumored to be cut. I'm trying to think who was getting bought out today, confirmed. Was there any guards? I'd love to have a scoring guard come off the bench.
A scoring guard off the bench. Get us Gary Harris. That's the guy that we want.
That's the guy that we gotta figure out there's legitimacy.
Yeah, let us know if Gary Harris has been waived, folks, in the chat. Let us know. But
I'm gonna check on it
for sure. Bioinformatics is just realized I'm on my McGill account. Bioinformatics. I took a course in you at McGill. big bioinformatics guy. But we are Moses Brown. Who would you rather have, DJ Wilson or Moses Brown? I saw that question posed in Raptors Reddit.
Probably Moses Brown.
Really? You're not a big DJ Wilson guy.
No.
No?
No. 3 days ago, examining possible spots for that must be a Gary Harris if he was going to get traded. Okay, I'm gonna check if he's in the buyout market or not.
Yeah, check if he's on the buyout market. People are higher on Brown than Wilson. It looks
then
like
Gary Harris? Surely not.
No. Then DJ Wilson. Even though DJ Wilson's a pretty big baller. But DeAndre Bembry got waived by the Brooklyn Nets. Riker, did we bring him back? He was good for us last season.
I'm reading this article. What are you saying?
DeAndre Bembry, would you bring him back from the Brooklyn Nets?
Yeah, I just saw you got bought out to make space for that Nets trade. No, I would not.
No, not about it. But about time. Sam, Ben and Riker are amazing. Appreciate it. Been balling out. Maybe they should pick us up, Riker. 2-for-1 deal. We'll split the NBA contract.
Oh my God, it was a blocked website, The Athletic. Shame on them for making me pay for content. It seems like they've made an article to say that Gary Harris will be bought out, but
bring him in. For buyouts, obviously Eric Bledsoe is trash if you're paying him $12 million. But if Eric Bledsoe is bought out, would you rather have Bledsoe or Gary Harris?
Gary Harris, obviously, a little bit younger, 27 years old, and obviously not playing extraordinarily well on Orlando Magic. But if you look at his Nuggets days when he wasn't injured, he put up some good numbers. I'd love to have him off the bench.
Yep, no, for sure. Kaiser Fons is asking if anyone's playing b-ball at the Dufferin Mall. Well, folks, if you're looking for people to play pickup with, Javelin Sports app, baby, you can download it. And there's people setting up group chats or setting up games and stuff in our big group chat that we have going. So definitely, if you want to join that, definitely download the application. But people are interested in DJ Wilson. The thing is, those guys aren't going to want to come to Toronto. I think Gary Harris wouldn't mind. Get some development, get some opportunity, because he'd probably get run with our squad.
You get run, as a wing shooter that there's nobody right now coming off the bench for the Raptors. You're going to get paid reasonably well because we've cleared some cap space. Yep. And you're going into a culture that I would assume most players around the league now respect as a culture of winning and a team that you have guys like DeMar, Lowry, Gary Trent Jr., a bunch of guys that have no relationship to Canada prior to coming to this team that can't speak highly enough about it after. So I get that we've been memed, we've been trolled, we've been burned in free agency, but I think that we're starting to turn the corner and being a respectable franchise from free agents' minds. So I don't think it's like a major problem.
Yep. No, for sure. And people are asking, are you and I going to be at those pickup games? And that is a yes. Josh is the closest to Toronto. Riker is very close to Toronto, or not very close, but drivable distance. So he's going to come down for a few of them, especially around Ontario area. And then when I fly up, I do my traveling. I go to different places, organize them in different places, right? Well, I'll be out to these and cook everyone out there with the old Steph Curry threes. But Riker, people are also asking about the meth Curry. Tyler Johnson. Should we pick up Tyler Johnson as a backup guard?
I guess we could technically if we really are desperate for a backup guard, but I'd just at that point rather run with Banton, right? Who cares? In playoffs, are you really going to play a guy that's a scrub on another team? Probably not. You're just going to stick with your core 6 or your core 7. I'd only be interested in picking up a guy that we think we would probably play in the playoffs. Yeah, that's true. But we got a super chat as well. From Wade. Who wins the 7-game series? 2016 Raps or 2022 Raps? Obviously 2016 for those that don't remember. Kyle Lowry, DeMar DeRozan. Jonas was on the team even though he got injured during the playoffs. Jonas.
We had DeMar Carroll, Luis Scola, Bismack Biyombo, Patrick Patterson. Was T. Ross was on that team at that point? Riker, who's winning that team or ours?
That's insulting to the 2022 Toronto Raptors, Ben.
That's insulting. Wow. That team made the Eastern Conference Finals, right? Are you locking in, now that the Raptors currently have their Grote and Gary Trent Jr., that we are going to be locked into a Eastern Conference Finals?
Oh, yeah, baby. But you remember how bad the East was, too, when the Raptors, even with that pitiful team where we had DeMar Carroll and Patterson and Scola, if that's the accurate 2016 team, they managed to be third in the East, second in the East behind Cleveland, something like that. So
different times, different
time, different era.
East. Yep, different East. But people are asking where I'm from. I'm from Newfoundland, but Phil B is correct. I'm from Iceland. Not actually.
Iceland.
Never been to Iceland, but
I've been to Iceland.
Riker's been to Iceland. You had some cool pics there, so I wanna.
Yeah, peep my Instagram. But Ben, I'm starting to wind down. So
well, Riker. Fun fact: I'm starting to wind up. The party's
no,
only
not.
starting.
It's 1 a.m. Go to bed.
Only starting in here. The
Go to
Raptors
bed.
beat the Rockets. We're on an 8-game win
You have
streak.
work.
How are we supposed to? What are we supposed to do? You know, I think we just go for a full hour, Riker. We're only 35 minutes in.
I think you go to bed. It's 1 a.m. in Newfoundland. You get your shut eye. You think about all of the moves that we can now make in the buyout market, and
that melatonin is hitting, folks. It's hitting. But guys, this is a huge W. This is a huge W for the Toronto Raptors. Moses Brown not on the Mavs. That's what people are saying for the buyout market. People are looking for collabs. Do you see the Air Monarchs that Josh had to buy for the pickup? Did you hear about that story? Were you talking to Josh Ice recently?
No.
Well, for people, and this is the more hype for the Javelin Sports application. Just download it for the wild pickup games. But Joshy Ice showed up on time, tried to hustle. He showed up early to the event. Good times, get some pickup in. He forgot his ball shoes. So he hustled to a sports check, pulled up some Air Monarchs or something, some white old man shoes. Was
so
balling
ugly.
out in those. You love to see it. What is? Yeah, no, those are the ones.
Oh God, that's hilarious.
He was flexing them too. He was repping them. I thought it was for memes, but it's a W. But shout out Joshy Ice, looking fire.
Oh God.
Shout out to Joshy Ice. But that's a W. But are the rec gyms going to provide us basketballs? I think it depends on what gyms you go to. I don't know the specifics around there, but I'm sure if you need a basketball, they'll provide you one. Most of these gyms usually have them. I'm not sure the rules are with the old restrictions and all that. I know some of the gyms are limited, but you can also message to the chat. People have a better sense of that. We just know Javelin's the best place to organize it, get it rocking. But we have a super chat from Turtle T saying, why trade get Eubanks and then release him? I think it was just for cap purposes, and that, unless you agree with that, Riker?
Yeah, probably. And we might want to make a move and buy it.
Yeah, I think that's big. But Kenneth, will the Clippers, do they have a hard schedule? Yeah, the Clippers are 0-2 since acquiring Norman Powell, Riker. What do you think of Serge Ibaka going to the Bucks? That's two questions involving the Clippers. Any big takes on those?
Yeah, we broke it down in our other videos. Disappointing. I think it is definitely a good compliment for the Bucks, but I'd still be excited to face them in the playoffs.
Yep, that would be a wild bloodshed. Serge Ibaka switching sides, even though it's more our fault than his. But it is what it is. And the Toronto Raptors are going out there. We're going to the ship. We got a new Raptors route. We got a new Raptors star role. What's the award? The GCOAD?
Greatest complimentary Raptor. Greatest complimentary player of all time. GCPOAT. OG, baby.
GCPOAT.
OG, baby.
What a legend. We're getting another one. We're getting another contender of all time with Thaddeus Young coming into the squad, hopefully in the next game. So subscribe to the Raptors Digest. We'll see if the hoodie gets claimed. Ken Long, if you're watching this after, you're not in the chat, right? Make sure you claim the hoodie, or else someone else will come back. So make sure you're subscribed. But check out the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter. The TikTok has been booming since the NBA trade deadline. So definitely check that out if you want to check out Riker doing some cute dances. Check out the application, join the channel membership, all that cool stuff. Riker, do you have any last words on the Toronto Raptors 8-game win streak?
Rules for happiness. Something to do, someone to love, something to hope for. the Raptors. Good night. Cheers.